Namaskar. Tell me something. Does this sound familiar? You wake up and before your feet touch the ground, your hand reaches for your phone. You think you will just take a quick glance of your notification, but you end up scrolling for hours. This happens because of the dopamine in your brain. Let's understand what is exactly dopamine. Dopamine is a hormone that your brain releases when you do something rewarding. It gives you a feel-good feeling. It is like the happy chemical in your brain. Now, brain is meant to produce dopamine when you do something that is hard for you, like studying for an exam, learning a difficult skill, or playing a difficult sport. So actually, it is your brain's way of rewarding you for putting in efforts. But nowadays, technology, food industry, entertainment, all these things have found ways to artificially trigger your brain's dopamine system without real effort. So your brain produces dopamine even without you not working so hard, eating junk food or constantly eating food with sugar or highly processed food, scrolling on social media, watching videos, playing games. All these things gives you quick dopamine without effort. Because of this, your brain gets used to wanting more and more of these easy ways to feel good, and slowly you start to depend on these quick dopamine hits. This is what we call addiction, and you are not alone. Nowadays, so many people, lakhs and lakhs of people, are suffering from this problem. Now, let's look at some of the very harmful effects of dopamine addiction. The first harmful effect of dopamine addiction is losing motivation to do difficult things. When your brain keeps getting pleasure without any effort, it starts to believe that hard work is not needed to feel happy. Slowly you stop feeling motivated to study, build your career, learn new skills, or work towards long-term goals. The second problem with dopamine addiction is the endless craving for more. You start chasing one thing after another blindly. But each time you achieve something, it only feels good for a short while. You get trapped in a cycle where you keep wanting more, but never feel fully satisfied. The third danger is a constant need for stimulation. When you are addicted to dopamine, normal, simple activities start feeling boring. Reading a book, sitting quietly, or having a peaceful conversation, you may feel dull. You may become restless when there is nothing to give you quick dopamine hit. Fourth harmful effect is related to food. Certain food, especially those full of sugar, salt, and fat, can make your brain release dopamine and make you feel good. But this can lead to overeating. You may keep eating to get the pleasure again and again. The fifth danger is shopping addiction. Every time you buy something new, your brain gives you a small pleasurable feeling. But soon, you may start buying more expensive items just to get back that same happy feeling. This can harm your finances and bring emotional stress. The sixth problem is neglecting your responsibilities. You might miss deadlines, fall behind in work or studies, or forget important tasks at home. Bit by bit, this can create bigger problems in your personal as well as professional life. So, as you can see, dopamine addiction is very serious. But the good news is that your brain can be retrained. You can learn to get your dopamine from real meaningful things like working towards goals, building strong relationships, learning and growing as a person. Now, let's look at what you can do to control your dopamine uptake. First and foremost, protect the first hour of your day. The very first hour after you wake up is extremely important. This is the time when your brain is more sensitive If you immediately start checking your phone, reading messages, scrolling to social media, or watching videos, you are flooding your brain with a rush of quick dopamine. If you do this for the first hour of your day, you are training your mind to control its need for dopamine throughout the day. So, whatever happens in the first hour of a day, you will have no screens, no notifications, no quick hits of excitement. Begin your day with calm activities. Set up a morning routine for yourself. Do some breath work. Have a nourishing fruit or almond soaked overnight. Stretch or move your body gently. Practice asana or Surya Namaskar. Sit in stillness or meditate. Take a slow walk without your phone. Just allow yourself to be bored for a while. At first, this might feel uncomfortable or even strange. You may feel restless. This is simply that your brain is going through withdrawal from constant stimulation. But if you can stay with it, your mind will slowly adjust and you will start feel a deep sense of calm and focus throughout your day. The second tip is replace cheap dopamine with rich experiences. The next powerful step to control dopamine, it's not just about cutting things out. It's about replacing them with experiences that truly nourish your brain and body. Cheap dopamine comes easily from scrolling, binge watching, junk food, or shopping. But all these gave you only short bursts of pleasure and leave you feeling empty soon after. Instead, you must train your brain to enjoy rich dopamine, the kind that comes from real effort, learning, and growth. So make a conscious decision to change your habits. What you have to do is, instead of endless scrolling, pick up a book that uplifts you or read something educational instead of passively consuming entertainment or content. Start journaling your thoughts or write your goals for the day. That is, instead of mindlessly watching videos, learn a new skill, take an online course, or practice a hobby you love. Third, instead of a fast food, prepare and enjoy slow, nourishing meals that energize your body. Fourth, replace impulsive shopping with gratitude that you already have. Whenever you have an urge to shop, sit down and look at your emotions. Are you feeling upset or sad? Maybe take a walk in nature or do some gardening. These activities will ground you. At first, your brain might resist. The cheap dopamine has trained it to expect easy pleasure. But more you replace these habits with meaningful ones, the more your brain will start to find joy in things that brings real lasting happiness. Over time, you will feel more fulfilled, focused, and in control, not constantly chasing the quick fix. Practice these few techniques for at least a month to control your dopamine addiction. This will give you the willpower for the next challenge. A 30-day dopamine fast, that is, withdraw from activities that give you instant dopamine, like apps or online gaming or unhealthy eating. If you can do this, your brain will rebalance its dopamine pathways and get used to getting a smaller dose of dopamine from difficult tasks of working out or learning something new. Remember, the object is to train your brain to feel rewarded after effort. Let your favorite shows or snacks become a celebration after focused work, not a distraction from it. When you do this, you begin to enjoy life from within. You find focus, you find clarity, you find joy not in chasing more, but in being here. Remember, dopamine isn't a problem. The problem is how you are getting dopamine so easily. Make sure Your senses of pleasure comes from doing something difficult. Namaskar.